We loved Mexico City, but did Mexico City love our wallets a little too much? Stay tuned to find out how our budget did on our 7-night stay in Mexico City. Hi, I'm Mimi, and this is Mimi and More. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. So today's video, we're going to talk about staying in Mexico City. We were there for 7 nights, the first week in February. So let me go over the budget and how we did overall. Some of it will surprise you, some of it may not surprise you, especially if you've been to the city. So first line item is accommodation. So we got an Airbnb while we were there. We stayed in the Roma Norte area, and that Airbnb cost us for 7 nights $432.84 or $62 a night. So we think, given what we want to spend on Airbnbs, that was a pretty average or pretty good price to spend. Our next line item is going to be flights. Now, we didn't fly into Mexico City from San Miguel de Allende. We actually took the bus, but we did fly from New Jersey to Mexico. And as I've mentioned before in some previous videos, what we do is we take that cost for that flight and we attribute a certain daily amount to our overall 94-day stay in this whole leg of this trip. So for flights, we are talking about $98.35. So that was just the portion of the flight, the big flight that brought us into Mexico, that we have added towards the Mexico City leg of the trip. So flights, $98. The second thing we have staying in the transportation category is transportation. So for transportation, we spent $195. Now, that included $83 were our bus tickets from San Miguel de Allende to Mexico City. And the rest was just Ubers while we were in the city. They were still very inexpensive, but we did go to a couple of places that were just a little too far for us to walk to them or from them, or we would walk one way and then take an Uber back. So about $100 worth of Ubers for a 1-week stay in Mexico City. Now, we did take a sightseeing tour down to Xochimilco, and that was about an hour south of Mexico City. So that Uber was a little bit more expensive than the others, but overall transportation, again, about $195 for the 7 days we were there. Next budget item that we have is restaurants. How much did we spend on food? That is $485.60. So we decided that since we were there for a week, we had a full kitchen. We had a great kitchen actually in our Airbnb, but it just wasn't really worth it to, be going out and buying groceries to make dinner. So we did eat all of our meals out while we were there. So hence, that was probably, when I look at the day rate, $485 divided by 7 nights is about $70 a day for food. So maybe not so bad, but anyway, that's the restaurant budget. Staying in the food vein, we spent $43 on groceries, and that was for water, bottled water. I use bottled water to make coffee in the room. Snacks, candy. Raphael, he has his pastry and bread category, but he should also have a candy category. I bought some sugar for to use in my coffee, just little things like that. And somehow it added up to $42 for the time that we were there. I have to admit to a bit of an addiction problem that I developed while I was in Mexico. One of it was spicy Doritos, so I was purchasing a bag or two during the visit. And then also from my childhood, there's soda called Fresca, and there's a soda called Squirt. So just Mimi fun facts. And so I was buying about a bottle of those a day. And the Fresca, even people are going to say, we have Fresca in the US, but only sugar-free Fresca. This is Fresca with sugar in it. So anyhow, moving on. We spent $5 for coffee and maybe a bottle of water or two along the way. So that's under sort of coffee and drinks. We had shopping of $5.79, and that was for some postcards and stamps that we bought. Now, sightseeing, and you notice I'm not really doing this in any particular order. So we spent $260 on sightseeing, and we did actually do quite a bit of paid sightseeing while we were in Mexico City. So we took we did a hop on hop off bus tour for the day. We did a walking tour, so we had the cost of the walking tour and then the tip to the I was going to say the driver, the tip for the guide. We also went to the Anthropology Museum, which I highly recommend. So we had the admission fee for that. And we also did the castle in Chapultepec Park. So there was an admission fee for that. I want to say, and I'll post it down below, I want to say that admission fee has gone up in 2026 to the Anthropology Museum, to the park, to the Castle Museum. It used to be like 100 pesos a person, but I think now it's like 220 pesos per person. So that has, which is about $13 a person. So, but that has gone up. If you've been to Mexico City in the past, it has actually doubled in cost. So we did do, as I said, we did do some paid sightseeing. And then personal care in Mexico City was actually $155. And the reason for that is I did get my hair cut and colored while we were there. And I found a salon. I had found them, a video about them online, and they were originally from Manhattan. And they were right down the street from where our Airbnb was. So I literally paid as much in Mexico City for a cut and color as I do in the US. So that was no bargain. But when you have short hair, unfortunately on the road, it's going to be an expense for me because my hair needs to be cut more frequently. I mean, I can hopefully dig up a box of dye here and there and throw it on myself. But like, I'll tell you, for example, we're in Puerto Rico right now, and I'm having a hard time finding a box of dye that will match my hair color. So we'll see how that goes as we continue to travel. But anyway, it was a little bit of a splurge, but $155 on personal care, which was literally just my haircut and color. And I think that covers everything. So what did it total? Well, our grand total was $1,735.89. That's how much we spent for 7 nights in Mexico. And our budget was $1,315.04. So our budget is $164.38 a day. And basically what that amounts to is we're trying to do this whole year of traveling on $5,000 a month. So we just take that and we 60,000 a year. Let's say we divide 60,000 by 365, we get the day rate of 164.38. That's how we get a day rate, and then we multiply it by the number of the days. I said that all in one breath. I don't know. I unfortunately didn't do the math of what our day rate ended up being, the $1,735, but I'm going to put it I'll put it in the line below so you can see you can see how much more we spent per day. But in total, we were over budget by $420.85. So it's not ideal. We were really trying to stay on a budget, but we're not beating ourselves up over it. We have a budget that we're comfortable with. We have made the decision that we're not going to not do something because it falls outside of our daily budget, or we're not going to treat ourselves to something that we really want because we're so focused on this budget. Now, we are focused on the budget, right? We're trying to rein it in and stay within what we have allotted for each day or for the entire trip. But if we need to step outside the box, so to speak, and spend a little more, we're hoping that gets offset by the times that we've saved some money. So we'll see how it goes as the year goes on. But there you have it. I wouldn't trade a dime. I was happy with the haircut. I was happy with the hair color. I loved all the sightseeing we did, and absolutely loved the restaurants that we ate at. We had an amazing opportunity to meet up with some traveling And I call them friends now along the way and have, share meals with them. And so that was a great thing as well. So these are experiences that, we're just never going to have otherwise. So I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm still, I'm still loving what we've chosen to do. So there you have it. Mexico, we loved it. We loved Mexico City, but it did not love the answer is we did not love our wallets, or maybe it did love our wallets and it kept dipping in. So anyway, on that, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have comments about how much money you've spent in Mexico City or when you've gone over budget and maybe how you've reined it in after that, leave me some comments below. Did I say leave me a thumbs up? And if you want to subscribe and know when I'm doing more videos, please do that. Hit the bell button and you'll know when a new video is going up. Thanks for sticking with me. I really do appreciate it. And so until next time, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.